Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nate with Local Viking, and I am just going to give you a little bit of an overview on the bulk CSV uploading. So I'm looking at the bulk CSV uploading interface. If you want to find that, you can go to any of your locations, click the new post drop down, and go to CSV bulk upload. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is click this view example button or link, and that is going to give you the CSV. Then the next thing you're going to do is actually import that into Google Sheets. Please do not import it into Excel. Excel does some weird things with the formatting, so go to Google Sheets, go File, Open, select the file from your drive, and then you'll be ready to get started. Now this is what the base template looks like as you'll get it. What you want to do is just take a look at the data here. So this is example data that I'm looking at in rows 2 through 8. And then row 12 and 13 is just a description of each row. So you can see here that we're going to start with the GMB location ID, the title, the summary, the topic type, which is the post type, the language code, start date and end date if you're using an offer or an event post type. We've got some other post type specific attributes here, and let's go ahead and look at each one of these one at a time. So the GMB location ID, this is going to be the ID of the location that you're posting to on this row. So each row is a single GMB post, and it starts with the GMB location ID. If you'd like to get all of your IDs for your locations, you can click this View Remote IDs link, and that'll open up a tab with all of your location IDs. Or a quick little pro tip, the location ID is actually also going to be this ID here when you are looking at your location that's in the URL. So let's keep on moving. We have the title, and this is going to be required for an event and an offer, and not required for a standard post type. You can see if it says required here always, that means you always need to have that value. If it says required and lists a post type, that means if your row is one of those post types, then you need to have that value. So you can see here that the summary is required always. Now that is going to be the post content. So the next thing is going to be the topic type or the post type, and you can see that can either be an event, a standard, or an offer. We also have the language code. Most everybody is using English. However, if you're using a different language, you will input your code there. Then we have the start date and the end date. And one thing to note that we do see messed up quite a bit, mostly by Excel, is that you need to look at the format here. So it's in day, hyphen, month, hyphen, year. So don't use forward slashes, don't put month first, put it in this exact format. That's how we need it. So it's going to be the start date, the end date. This is required for both an event and an offer. Then we have a start time and an end time. We have a coupon code. This is just relevant for, it's an optional input for an offer type. Same thing with the redeem URL, same thing with the terms and conditions, and the action type. This is going to be the CTA. So if you are looking to find out what CTAs are available, you can come to our help articles, search for CTA in the search box here, and then what you can see is that you're going to want to use one of these. So you can either use book, order, shop, learn_more, sign_up, get_offer, or call. Those are the available call to action types, and that's what you would put in this value right here. The next thing is action URL. It's optional for it's optional if you have the action type that requires, or you have the call to action that requires. It's not optional, but it is optional if you don't have the action type. And then finally, we have the image URL here. If you are using an image, make sure that the URL ends in either .jpeg or .png. You can't embed images. You can't put images in Google Drive. You can't put them on any of those free hosting sites that kind of encapsulate the image, you need to be linking to the raw image itself. So if you have a WordPress site, you can FTP or transfer the image into the home or root directory into the public folder, and that will allow you to use that link directly here. The next field is going to be the scheduled at field. This is if you are scheduling the post. So if you don't have anything in here, the post is going to go out immediately. And if you're scheduling it out, again, we want to use this format here. So it's day, day, month, month, year, 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 and then optionally you can include the hours or the minutes in the seconds. So most people are doing that, but you can see that is how you want that to be structured. Finally, we have Spintax Enabled. You can use this blank or leave this blank if you're not using any Spintax, or if you are using Spintax, and the Spintax refers to your post content. We'll see that here in just a second as I get to the example. And then you can go ahead and you can just ignore this stuff here. This was actually from the product posting type that is now been removed from GMB and has moved to the actual first class citizen of a product object. So let's look at what you need to do. So I've got another example here. So what I did was I just cloned the template over, and I went and I deleted all of that example data, and I added my own data. So I've got my location remote ID here. I've got the title of my offer and my event and my offer post types. I've got my summary here, and you can see that I'm using some Spintax. So you can see, hi, hello, do you need your home business cleaned? Call us today for all your cleaning needs. And then I use this special syntax to reach into the location and grab the phone number. If you are looking for location variables, you can go to the help docs, search location variables, and that will show you all of the variables that you can use. So that is for both CSV posting as well as multi-location posting in the UI, as well as multi-location image uploading. You can also use this when you have just a single post to a single location. So this is our special syntax for you to actually just grab attribute data directly from the listing that you're posting to. Let's go back here. You can see that my start date and my end date, this is going to be the 21st of October in 2019, and the end date is the 25th of October 2019. You can see the topic type here. It's going to be our post type, standard event offer. We have our offer or our event post here. In the middle, you can see what my content is there, pretty short, as well as the offer content here. And we've got a start time and an end time. We have a coupon code, and we have a redeem URL. I'm going to just delete this post as I make them, so I just grabbed a mollymade.com URL. We've got our terms and conditions, and you can see that we have our call to action. So this is, we're using the call to action, we're using the book call to action here. We don't need an action URL when we're using the call to action. It's going to pop up the phone number of the GMB itself. We do need a URL if you're using the book call to action. Then I just got my pretend images here. These are real images, but this is just demo image. You can see I'm scheduled out right here on the 21st of October. And then you can also see that I do have Spintax enabled on this line, and I don't on this. So the last thing you're going to want to do here is just make sure that you delete all of this example data. So I'm going to just grab right under there, and let's go ahead and let's delete rows right there. And then let's go ahead and we're going to download this as a CSV. So that has now been downloaded. And the next thing we need to do is basically come over here, come into our interface. We can choose file, we can grab that post CSV, and we can click upload. Now the next thing that's going to happen is our system is going to go and we're going to process your CSV. You can see here we just got the results. You can either click into this details here, or you can click right here, and what you're going to be able to do is you're going to see Has your post been scheduled? Has it been published? What's going on? So you can see here that we just got this post. It's done. This was the standard post that we had no scheduled at field. This is going to be the event post, and here's the offer post. And you can see that we scheduled those out at this time right here. This is going to be in your local time zone. So if you go to your user under your organization here, click edit, you can see what local time zone that your user's in. So I believe I'm in Eastern, and I set this to be 10 a.m. Pacific. And now we can show that we're going to publish at 1 p.m. Eastern. But just remember, you have a local time zone, and then your location has its time zone. So that is the kind of overview of CSV bulk posting. If something went wrong, or if you just like messed up, you can click this delete bulk post and all posts, and we're going to go through and we're going to remove all of the posts that you just created with this CSV job. So if you have any questions after watching this, feel free to reach out to us. We do have live chat available, or you can email us support@localviking.com.